Alright lads, and welcome to my Frost Mage PVE DPS guide updated for 6.2. In this guide there shall be a number of sections which can be accessed via the navigational bar above. For this video we shall be covering gearing, talent, glyphs and damage, though if you subscribe to my channel you'll find many more tutorials. Before we begin, I'd like you to understand that these guides are intended to be very quick and straightforward, though still give you the necessary skills to play your class effectively at high level content. So let's jump into gearing. The main stat you want to prioritise as a Frost Mage is multi-strike, since the more you multi-strike, the faster you generate icicles, but we'll talk about this more in the damage section. But all you need to understand really is more icicles, more damage. The official stat priority for when it comes to actually choosing the gear pieces is multi-strike, crit, haste, versatility and then mastery. In the first tier, all options are very viable depending on your situation. Evanesque is a strong option for when you must counter big AoE damage more regularly than the cooldown of Ice Block. Blazing Speed can be very useful for when dodging life-threatening events happening, like dodging trains. However, you may find Icy Flows more appropriate, especially since this will prevent your DPS from dropping. In the second tier, Alter Time will mostly be the best option, since this can return you to full health and increase your DPS. However, when you're taking more regular damage, Ice Barrier will be more beneficial. But when you take even more frequent damage, then Flame Glow will become better than both of the options. The third tier is all about crowd control. Go for Ring of Frost for when you must use an AoE CC, but go for Frostjaw for when you must only CC a single target for a longer time. In the fourth tier, I'd say greater invisibility is useful for when you must remove high damaging dots, but Cauterize, or however the hell you say it, will be the most useful most of the time. For the fifth tier, go for Icy Nova for an increase to single target damage, and go for Unstable Magic for when you must AoE. For the sixth tier, I'd recommend Rune of Power for when for situations where you know you won't have to move around a lot. However, if you must be maneuverable, then Incanter's Flow will probably be more useful. In the seventh tier, the Prismatic Crystal will be the biggest single target DPS increase, but it will require a little skill to master. Thermal Void will be the most beneficial for multiple target situations, however. For glyphs, the glyph of Icy Veins is mandatory due to its increase to your DPS, and so is a glyph of the Water Elemental, which allows them to cast while moving. For an increase to AoE damage, then Glyph of Cone of Cold and the Glyph of Splitting Ice will become a lot stronger, so if you need to AoE then these really become a mandatory option. Glyph of Blink can be useful for when you need the extra range. However, be careful with this glyph because you don't want to be travelling too far, you know, going off the map or something daft like that. Glyph of Rapid Displacement can be useful for when you need to blink more often. There are a few others which can be useful for very specific situations, so you know, just at the end of the day, you know, just if you see something that's going to be useful, just go ahead and go and use it. The only minor glyph which I can see as a serious advantage would be the Glyph of Momentum, which allows you to blink in any direction, so that's definitely going to be beneficial to you. The rest, you know, just a bit of fun, bit of cosmetic, so you know, go whatever you want. So, here is the spell priority list to maximise your pressure as a Frost Mage. Cast Frozen Orb whenever available. Cast Freeze on adds whenever available. Cast Ice Nova if you have 2 charges. Cast Ice Lance to consume your Fingers of Frost procs. Cast Frostfire Bolt when you have a Brain Freeze proc, but don't if you have 2 charges of Fingers of Frost. Cast your pet Water Jet and cast 2 Frostbolts during it, and cast Frostbolt as a filler. There's not much else to know other than obviously use your cooldowns whenever they're available, and remember for Prismatic Crystal you have to target the crystal, so put all your damage into the crystal. And also try to align all your cooldowns with intellect procs, which obviously have a higher chance to occur in the opener, so that could come from your trinket or your weapon enchant, whatever. That's it for me lads, my name is the Meta Goblin, and until my next video, ciao!